welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing? We're still promoting UK Medic and Cable Company. Go check them out. And we are also promoting our members. Our members are Digging It Back, UK Medic, Supreme Geckos, Corner Clubhouse Cobalt, Sherry Lynn Matcat, Jay Sonata, Trot Legs and Stings, Mary Giggs, Smitty SOE Gaming, The Stock Explorer, Leighton, Leon Layton, Real Time Catfishing, Old Dude, It's the Marshmallow Man, Ron Walk, Leonard, Like Father Like Son, Chester the Gamer, Ryan 222, Gaff, Karen Utz, 315 Gamer, Clowns Are Us, Incognito Metal Detecting, Mayhem Miracles, Coining Around, Chaka, Ryan Clark, Brooklyn Chick, Sabine Pazine, Optimob, Brandon Gaming, Tripman Gaming Network. We're live. Three Good Nerds, Tita Chin Vlogs, Pokerasi. Those are our members. Go check them out. If you like what you see, you know what to do. So how's everybody doing on this Saturday? I will be on here for about 45 to 50 minutes, driving to work. Welcome, welcome. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to share me out. Let's see who is in here. We have Tripman. What's up, 315 Gamer? James L. Katani. Welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing? Hopefully everybody's doing great. I was going through all the live streams and videos from the last couple of days. I've been busy. Didn't leave any comments. I just gave them a like and watched the video. Welcome, welcome. We also have our family and friends list. Family and friends list is Coining Around, My Animal House, Spider Mom, Mark the Spider Guy, Sherry Lynn Matcat, James Gype, Samantha Gype. We have Mayor, all capital letters, Maer. We have Yoda Blessed. We have Tony Diecast. We have Zelda Diecast Racing. We have The Stock Explorer. We have John Paul, Brooklyn Chick, Pokerasi, UK Matic. From the Philippines, we have MDT. From Hong Kong, we have Tita Chin. Yeah, we got, looks like a lot of clouds in the sky today. Tighten this up, make sure it's not loose. Alrighty. We have Stories Lost and Found. We have Wally from Supreme Geckos. We have Mayhem Miracles. We have Percy the Mercian. His channel is the Mercian Metal Detecting, and he is from the UK. So go check out all those amazing channels. If you like what you see, you know what to do. Yep. Temperature outside. Let me see here what the temperature is. Where's the temperature? Come on. There it is. 99 degrees outside. And that's with the cloud cover. It's 2:15 in the afternoon. Welcome. Got about another 1,200 miles, and I got to get the oil change and rotation done. Yep. Yeah, it's cloudy all over today. Thank God for that. Keep the heat down a bit. Now it says it's 95 now that we're moving. So it kind of cools down a little bit. But sitting still, we're close to 100 degrees. We'll see. I doubted our vehicle got fixed. Our vehicle's air conditioning is messed up at work. Supposedly they were going to get it fixed this week. Yeah, right. It's going to say, oh, well, you know, the holiday got in the way. Yeah, sure. I'll believe that. Yeah, I was in, whose live stream was I in? He was playing a game. Well, I was in a couple. I was in Pagans, I was in 315s, I was in Tripman, Trippin', no, is it Tripman? Yeah, Tripman, Trippin', I don't know why I call him Trippin'. Tripman, OMA, but right now, before I left, I was in Orange's channel. He was playing a video game, and then Ripin was in there. I don't know how you say his name. Is it Ripin? It's RHYPI. Yeah, we were kind of talking about because I went into a couple of his live streams when he's playing video games and he was asleep. Not this last one, but the last couple of them. I guess he works hard. You know, I know how it is. You get tired, then you try to start playing you get all relaxed, start playing some video games, and boom, you fall asleep. It happens. But, you know, especially if it's one of those games that has some little breaks in between, you know, while you're waiting it to load the next part or something, then that's all it takes for you to fall asleep and not be awake. Also, look at my posts. There's a bunch of people there. Go check them out. Awesome people, awesome channels. And and we were talking about falling asleep. Well, yeah, I was mentioning the story when I was I'm 63 now, but when I was in my 20s, you know, I was working like 2 jobs, you know, going to church and all these different things, and I was lucky if I got 4 hours of sleep sometimes. So one day, you know, I go to work, and one of my jobs, because I worked at multiple places. I worked at a gas station, and I worked at a place like they take care of the vehicles, like the trucks, the trailers, were the mechanics. I was the tire guy. I had a truck. I had a truck with the compressor and everything. I go out on the road and swap tires when somebody had a flat from one of the company trucks, the trailer, whatever. You know, he would just tell me what size tire it is, and I would grab 2 matching tires of that size, and then bring back the flat and the other one. Because you don't want to put two different you don't want to put a same size tire, but one that has more tread than the other one. So we kind of matched. We had like sets of tires for whenever this happened, and it was a dual. So you'd go out in the road and change the tire on the semi trailers, and you're in the middle of traffic sometimes. There's like a 2-lane highway. There's not a lot of room, especially if it's the one on the roadside. It's like, man, it's all it takes is for some guy not paying attention is going to hit you, run you over. So I kind of always try to get the guy, hey, if it's on that side, can you kind of pull it a little bit more that way in, because but you always, you put your truck, you would put your truck behind the truck, with your flashers on, so that way kind of people would see you. But, so one time, we're doing a bunch of tires. I used to dismount tires from the semis. We didn't use a machine. We used hammers and bars. Take off the tires off of the big semi rims. And so the boss goes, hey, I need you to go to Goodyear in San Jose. It's like about 15 miles away. He goes, I need you to go and pick up some tires. A bunch of they had a load of tires that came in that he ordered. So I'm like, okay. So, and then he goes, and you need a trailer. I've never driven a truck pulling a trailer, so I'm not I have no idea how to back up a damn trailer. Never have, So I'm driving this trailer, so I'm making sure I don't park, where I have to back up, because shit, I'm gonna probably jackknife it, So then I'm driving, when I'm driving over there, man, I'm feeling kind of sleepy, and I'm like, oh man, I'm getting kind of sleepy here, So I'm like, I gotta stay awake. So I'm over here slapping myself. Hey Yoda, what's up? Hey Butt Files, hey Corner Clubhouse, welcome. What's up? So I'm over here trying to stay awake, So I'm like slapping myself, and trying to stay awake, throwing water in my face, So when I make it okay over to the Goodyear place, pick up the tires, and they loaded up all the tires and everything. So then I'm like, hey, they had some coffee. So, but coffee doesn't help. To me, coffee doesn't do crap. It doesn't. I don't know. Maybe I need to drink more coffee than that. But coffee does not affect me in that way. I can drink coffee and then go to sleep. So. Plus, I easily fall asleep. I can easily just hit the pillow and boom. My wife hates it because she goes, I hate you. You just hit the pillow and you're asleep and I can't go to sleep. I'm like, and noise doesn't bother me. So then I'm getting ready to drive back. I'm like, go in the bathroom, wash my face, try to wake up more. I was a little bit better. So then I start driving back. And I'm driving back, and then I'm feeling like, oh shit, it's starting to hit me again, So here I am pulling nose hairs, pull them nose hairs, trying to wake up, And nah, it's like it's not working, but I'm like I'm still, I got my eyes, wide open. I'm looking, driving and looking. Hey, what's up, 315 gamer? And let's see who else is in. Jim Windsor, Epic. What's up, Epic? Holster. What's up, Holster? Yeah, so I'm like driving. It's only a 15-mile drive. But still, I'm so doggone tired from putting too many hours and not enough sleep. Because if I get enough, at least 5 hours or more sleep, I'm fine. But if not, I'm gonna be falling asleep. So then, and then you know how it is. You're fine until the sun hits you. That sunshine starts hitting your face, and you're like, oh, it's gonna put you to sleep. So then, the warm sun. So then I'm driving and and this is a 3-lane highway. So I'm driving and I'm like halfway there. I'm only about 6 miles away, and I'm driving, and then I don't even know it, because you don't even know it, because your brain will shut down and you will not know. You think you're awake and you're not. You're in la la land. So then I all of a sudden, I'm driving, because it's 3-lane highway, and then there's in the middle there's dirt road. So all of a sudden, I'm like, I start like what the hell, and I wake up and I'm like, shit. I'm like, I'm in the dirt. I'm driving in the dirt. Luckily, there's no rails or anything, so I'm fine. So I'm like, I don't just pull into traffic. I look, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. So I go into traffic and go back on the road, and I'm like, oh, man, that scared the hell out of me. That woke me up for sure. But that's it. I'm like, you know what? That's it. I put in my 2 weeks notice at the gas station, because I was full time at the other place. So I was like, you know what? I don't need to work that many hours. And then I need to sleep. Yeah, because I was all into religious that time. And still religion is still in my life, but not to the point where it was back then. I was a youth youth group minister, helping people learn about God and stuff, and the Bible, but so it was like, oh my God, I made it back in one piece. Luckily, thank God, nobody was hurt. Didn't hit anything, didn't crash into anything, no damage, just a little wake-up call, but that's the thing, we have to sleep. If you're gonna drive, take a good nap before, a nice 5-6 hours sleep before you're gonna drive. Because if not, you can fall asleep unless there's somebody keeping you awake. If you have a family, you're gonna kill them, or you're gonna kill yourself and leave them without you. So that's even worse than drinking and driving, I think, because when you're drunk, you're impaired, but you're still awake. Your reaction time is going to be slower and everything. But when you don't sleep and you're driving and you fall asleep, there's nothing you can do. Your brain will shut down. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, I can stay up. Yeah. But your brain at one point or another will shut down. It will tell your body, hey, your body needs some sleep, or else it's going to die or something. It's in stress mode. So your brain will just shut down. It'll close your vision, everything. You'll go out and you won't even know it. They'll be looking at the road, and all of a sudden, you're like, "Oh shit! What the heck?" And you were asleep for a couple of seconds. But all it takes is a couple of seconds to kill somebody, man. So don't drink and drive. Don't sleep while you're tired. You know, try to sleep. You know, enough hours. Like, see, I work late. You know, I get off at work at 11:30. Only Saturdays and Sundays, so it's by the time I get home, it's all past midnight. But you know, I went to sleep late last night, like around 1 in the morning, 1:30 in the morning, but I didn't wake up till 10. So, you know, at least get your 8 hours of sleep, you know, because you don't want your body to force you to fall asleep, you know, because it will, your body will, and you have no choice. Your body's not gonna, you're not gonna, you can't stop it. You know, it's like, oh, well, take drugs. Well, drugs are only going to work so much. You know, it's like these people that take those energy drinks. We had a driver. We had a guard. We had a guard at work. He was always, he'd come in and he would relieve me, and he was like, all like, this was a young kid. He was in his 20s, you know. And he's like, oh, you know, it's like all like, whoo, 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 you know, talking real fast, and you know, it's like going miles per hour. Well, yeah, cause hey, what's up, mate? Welcome. Yeah, he was going 100 miles an hour, and he'd come in, and I'm like, hey, you know, I go, this guy, he's either on something or what, you know. So he basically was on caffeine. Because he was on freaking Monster drinks and Starbucks and crap like that. That stuff will get your heart pumping, and you're gonna be going. But guess what? At the end of your shift, or before the end of your shift, you're gonna crash. Your body's gonna crash because you're not gonna have, unless you keep drinking Monster drinks and kill yourself. That shit's no good for you. I remember my older son used to take him when he used to do testing, and when he was gonna have a test the next day, he would like do a bunch of Monster drinks to study and stuff like that. Sheriff's right there. Yeah, so don't yeah, Monster drinks are not good for you, man. So then this kid, you know, he comes in all like, oh, and then I'm like, okay. So then I'm like, yeah, this kid, you know, I was saying, I'm like, damn, this kid is on something or something. So then I'm like, okay. So that was 1 week, and then the next week, you know, the guy, one of the guards, he tells me, you know, and this was on a Friday. He goes, hey man, you know, that kid that I relieved, you know, on Friday, I came in, you know, I came into work, and I couldn't find him. And he's all like, and I'm like, what do you mean you couldn't find him? Yeah, he goes, I couldn't find him, so I called, you know, we called this other phone that we have. We call and you know, and you can ask about any site, you know, and then he asked about the guard. He goes, hey, you know where the guard is? He goes, I don't see him anywhere. His vehicle's not here. Well, because this kid, he would sometimes, you know, his girlfriend would drop him off and then she'd pick him up. Because he did notice there was a truck outside, parked outside, okay? So then he's all like, the guy, they got cameras. And they go, well, you know what? What's that truck that's outside? And he goes, oh, you know what? So the guard goes and checks on the guy that on the truck that's outside, and it's the guard that he supposed to relieve. I don't know what the heck happened that he decided to park outside. He's supposed to be inside the site, because he's not supposed to leave the site. He was outside of the gate, and it's like, what the hell? And then he said he looked, and the truck is running. The truck is running, and the truck is in drive. It's in gear. Okay? So he's all like, so he knocks on the window, and the guy wakes up, and then he wakes him up, and he takes his foot off the brake. The truck starts going forward, and then he puts the brakes back on. And he's like, what the hell? What are you doing? Oh. He didn't even know. Hey, what's up, Dennis? He didn't even know what he was doing. Why was he outside of the place? It's like, what are you doing outside? You're supposed to be inside, waiting till I get there, and then I relieve you. Well, he didn't know what the hell he was doing. So then I come in, because he works that night. He would come in, and he would relieve me, and then he would have to go in, so he would relieve me, and I would relieve him in the morning at 7:30 in the morning. So I come in, because that was on a Saturday morning. I came in, so I come in on Sunday morning, and then I go and I told him, I go, what's up with you, man? What are you doing? Are you sleep driving or what? Oh, I don't know what happened, but I didn't leave. But you were outside of the gate. What the hell are you doing? I said, if you're feeling a little asleep, you have 2 breaks. Take, 2 15-minute naps, Don't be, if you're feeling sleepy, don't drive. You're going to crash. You're going to hit one of the solar panels, out there. And it's a RAV4. This Toyota RAV4 is what he's driving. So that's on Saturday morning. I relieve him. He's going to come in Sunday again. At night, and then I don't see him until, I don't even see him till the next morning. No, I don't see him at all. So then I'm like, okay. So then he's working that Sunday night. He comes in at nighttime, and then he'll get off at Monday morning, 7:30. But then I don't come in to relieve him. I come in the afternoon. So, I've already talked to him. I told him, don't do this shit. You're going to crash, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay. Well, I come in Monday afternoon on my shift, So I go over there. I don't see our vehicle, our company vehicle, but I see his truck. His truck is still there. I'm like, oh, maybe they kept him overtime or something, because I remember there was a panel that caught fire or something. So he's all like, so I go, oh, maybe he stayed or something. Hey, what's up, UK medic? So then I'm like, maybe he stayed overtime. But that's a lot of time, shit. That's like 16 hours. Nobody does 16 hours, maybe 12. So then I'm like, okay, well. So I come into the trailer, and then that's when I run into the bosses from the site. And he's all like, he starts laughing. He's, hey, what's up? So did you hear? I'm like, hear what? My boss didn't tell me anything. He could have called me and said, hey, by the way, this and this happened, Nope, nothing. I get there, the other bosses from the place we're guarding tells me, yeah, haven't you heard? No. I go, what happened? What happened? He goes, your guy fell asleep at the wheel. I'm like, what? What do you mean he fell asleep at the wheel? Yeah, he fell asleep at the wheel and he hit 2 solar panels. I'm like, oh my God. He goes, look, he starts showing me pictures of all the shit he hit. I'm like, oh my God. And you know, we don't even drive fast out there. We're only going like under 10 miles per hour or less. But he is asleep, you know, driving with his foot on the gas pedal, driving real slow, and falls asleep. So what happens when he falls asleep? He hits the first solar panel. And then when he hits the solar panel, he wakes up and he slams his foot on the gas, and he freaking like goes right through that solar panel and then breaks it, and then he slams into the next set of solar panels and gets stuck. So he destroyed the whole front of the Toyota 4Runner. Then he ripped the whole right side. Took off the mirror, took off between the 2 windows. He just destroyed the whole side of it. I mean, he wrecked the truck. He freaking messed it all up. And then I'm like, oh my God. And I go, and I just talked to him less than 16 hours ago, told him, if you feel you're too tired falling asleep, you know, take a little break, take a little nap. Don't, you know, nobody's here, you know, you got cameras, you know, but no, he crashed the truck. I'm like, oh. And it was one of our good trucks that we had. We would have still had that truck now if he wouldn't have crashed it. Now we got a piece of crap truck. Toyota Tacomas without air conditioning. And so then, you know, I'm there, and then later on I see him coming, because he comes in, you know, to pick up his truck. And I go, what happened? Oh, I don't know. I'm like, I go, didn't I just tell you? I told him, didn't I just talk to you less than 16 hours ago? Said if you're gonna have an accident if you're gonna be continue driving like this. You know, he's lucky he didn't crash his regular vehicle. You know, and I know because from experience, falling asleep while you're driving. You know, I did it twice before, but I never crashed into anybody. Luckily, thank God. You know, but yeah. So that was it. Never saw him there no more. It's like, you know, they think they're gonna stay awake with all those Monster drinks, and I knew something was up. And then I asked my boss, I go, so what happened? Because see, the thing is, this kid was working at the hospital. Didn't tell me. He only told me that he was working at the hospital, but that he got in trouble. But they removed him, so they moved him where we were. Well, he didn't tell me that the reason he got in trouble was because he was falling asleep on the job. Yeah, God, you go send him somewhere where he's going to be falling asleep while he's driving, instead of where he's sitting there or somewhere where he's not going to kill nobody, crash something. But yeah, I was like, thanks a lot for letting me know. You know, could have given me the heads up, but no. Man, this guy's going like 64 miles per hour, 65-mile drive. I can't pass him. Too many cars on the left side. I'll just have to do it in the town here coming up. I'm running a little early anyways, so. But yeah, it was like, oh my God. You know, we got a bunch of kids working. You know, they don't care because they're living with mommy and daddy. They're not responsible. You know, they don't have a family to feed. They don't have, you know, rent to pay. They only got a car payment, insurance payment, phone, maybe, if they're lucky. If mommy and daddy's not paying for everything. But, you know, they don't want to show up for work. They call off. It's like, hey, I'm partially retired. I only work 3 days. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's it. 2 days out here, 45 to 50-minute drive. The other place, it's only like 10 minutes away from my house, so I'm like, I don't even have to, you know, hardly have to drive. So, but come on, man. Come on, man. Okay, he's turning. Good. Get out of my way. But yeah, I mean, you know, and I've done so many different jobs I've worked in. I mean, I worked at a grass farm, you know, where they make sod, you know, where they, you know, those people that want grass in the yard, you know, the nice looking grass, no weeds or anything. Our job was to be on, you know, bending our backs or on our on all fours, you know, getting all the weeds out of the grass, you know. So we had to pull all the weeds, you know. This was up there in San Jose, you know, San Jose area, the Bay Area. And you know, this was like during, you know, the cold season. Even the field, the grass was all white from the ice on it. So sometimes we had to wait till the sun came out a little bit, and then we would start. They give you a sack of potatoes, empty sack of potatoes with a tool that's specially made for weed pulling. And then they would teach you. And we would just go in a straight line, like 10 of us, you know, making minimum wage, you know, picking up anything, rocks, anything that was on there. and then what happens? We're all pulling weeds, and there's some troublemakers, you know. We got these young kids. I mean, back then I was in my 20s. I was a young kid, but I was a more responsible person. I didn't do stupid shit. So then, you know, I did stupid shit too, but not like what this guy did. Somebody in the bunch, you know, found a rock, and instead of putting it in the bag, he decides to throw it out of the field into the, you know, as far as he could. But there was a road on that side. So what happens? A car gets hit. A car gets hit with a rock. So what do? They stopped, because supposedly there was no cars anywhere in front of them. So it had to be somebody of you know. So the sheriff was called. The sheriff came over and talked to everybody. I didn't see anybody. And if we did, nobody's going to say anything. Nobody's going to rat anybody out. I mean, so, the guy's going to have tell his insurance company, that's what you have. I mean, I had the same on my insurance, Basically, it's usually like a $50 deductible on that, getting a new windshield. Depending on your deductible, it could be more. Or if you don't have insurance, then you got to pay for the whole windshield. A couple $100, $200 back then. This is back in the 1980s. And, I did that for a while. Then a couple of months, I was a Santa Claus at a Kmart, handing out candy canes to the children. And then people would take photos. We wouldn't charge. They'd bring their own camera or their phone and take a picture. So I'd sit there, ho ho ho. Worked there at the end of, basically it was like at the end of October, right after Halloween. Yeah, I mean, it was all November and December, and, it was a fun, it was fun. But then I also worked at Cragen Auto Parts. Cragen Auto Parts worked a lot of years. Worked a lot of years there. Then I worked down here where I live at now. That was up north at the Bay Area, San Jose area. I was working. Worked at a college up there. Worked at schools as custodians, both at the college and at schools. Yeah, because I when we were looking for work, me and my cousin, we couldn't find any work, so we found a company called Manpower. It's still around. If you can't work, if you can't find any work, go to Manpower. Fill out an application, and basically you call every morning and go, yeah, any work, anything available, and they tell you yes, you need to go to this place, and you're going to work here for a couple of days, weeks, months. Worked at a furniture store. Worked at a Gold Key Furniture in Santa Clara County. They had 2 stores. I think they had one in LA, another one in San Diego, I think. And the guy liked the way we worked, me and my cousin, and he all, hey, if you guys going to move back to LA, if you're ever going to go to LA area, look us up. We'll give you a job. You can move over there because I like you guys do good work. Very good workers. Okay. We were warehouse people. We'd offload trucks of furniture, couches, beds, mattresses, everything that you could think of, tables, chairs, and then we would also, load customers' vehicles and stuff like that, and tie them down with twine. So many stories of those times. Funny stories too. I've said some of them in some of my live streams, but yeah. And there's also where else did we? Where I worked at? I worked at a shampoo factory, and the line where you're. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, so it was a shampoo factory, and I was there. Let me see, 3 days only, or no, actually 2 days. They needed somebody there for 2 days. So I went there, showed up, and they said, "Okay, your job here is pushing the box through the tape machine and then putting the box on a pallet." So I was like, putting the pallet, and boom, boom, boom. That's all I was doing, nonstop. And it was. I mean, I did that for 4 hours. Then lunchtime came, but I was like, oh my god, nonstop. It was going, and then I was hoping the machine something would happen so it would shut down and give me a break. My muscles were worked so hard that my muscles on my forearm were like balling up. They were like going like this when I would go, oh, then I would stretch them out. You know, it was like crazy. And I kept going and going. I'd fill up pallets, then a forklift would come, take the pallet away, then another pallet, and another pallet. And then the thing is, there was no room because they would fall off the end of the thing. So there was really no room for the thing. So I'm doing this and I'm doing this, and then I'm like, okay. And then I they had lunchtime. So I said, okay, I'm going to lunch now. Okay, let's see who else came in. Dennis was in here. Let's see. Cable Company, Gator, what's up? UK Medic. Kevin Towler is in the house. Welcome, welcome. I don't know what he said. He retracted it. Alrighty, Kevin Towler. He said, I would have fired him. Yeah, yep, that's true. I don't. He got removed from here. I don't know if he got fired. You know, probably went to somewhere where they don't drive. I love all the chrome on the classics. Yes, love the chrome on the classics. Bocarassi, what's up? Welcome, welcome. Ron Pierce, yeah. So then I'm doing this. I'm putting the pallet in the pallets, and then lunch tower. So 4 hours I did that, nonstop. Man, my muscles were like tired. So I came back from lunch, and they're like, okay, no, you know what? We're gonna give you a break. We're gonna sit you down over here on this stool. And I'm like, oh, sit down on the stool. Ooh. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be an easy job. Right. That's what I thought. You know, this is the shampoo. This one thing is where the shampoo machine puts the cap on the bottles. Well, guess what? You would think that the machine. This was back in the 80s. You know, I don't know. Technology might have improved nowadays. Who knows? But back, so then this machine, the bottles would come by you where I was at on a stool. They gave me a socket. You know, we're talking a automotive socket that would fit on top of the bottles. just enough to tighten it, and then it wouldn't mess it up. So here I am with my hand going like this, all a bottle coming by, boom, 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 and this machine is like, every time I remember that day, I was remembering the I Love Lucy show when she's on that conveyor belt with the chocolates, and she has to, wrap them, and the same thing. I was like, oh my God. And then I was praying to God. I go, please let them, because the machine, it seemed like it was going faster. It's like faster, because I guess the faster I went, the faster it would move. I don't know, but I was just kept going and going, and then it went. I did that, Then we had a break, and then we came back from the break. Then I continued again, and then and I did it. I did the machine did break down a couple of times. Gave me a couple of breaks there to go through all those bottles that was getting kind of backed up, I guess. I don't know, but then I got and then it started up again. Did that for 4 hours, and then I punched out. They filled out my timesheet because we're getting paid by Manpower, the company, and then. And then they go, okay, well, we'll see you tomorrow. I go, okay. So I come back the next day, and then when I get there, it's funny because the guy goes, oh, you're back, and I go, yeah, why not? You said you needed me to come back. Hey, Marines and Army Mom, what's up? Welcome. And I said, well, yeah, I came back. What do you mean? Because usually people that have come here, some of them don't even last the 4 hours after, because that's what they do. They put them on the pallets. I guess they put them there, and I guess if you survive that, they move you to something easier. Which, because there's other jobs that were easier. There was another lady, because there's ladies there also. There was another lady that was just opening up boxes and putting them on the conveyor belt, so then it would go into the machine, and then the bottles would drop, and then that would go to me where I was putting it through the tape machine, and then, so it was like, and then the guy goes, oh, you came back. Usually nobody comes back. They quit. They don't, we never see them back again. I'm like, oh, well, hey, I'm not afraid of hard work, so I did, and then I go, oh, so do you guys need, and that was pretty much it. They said, no, that's it. They told everybody that they didn't need anybody else again, because it was just a run of product that they had to run, and they weren't having any work. So then they said, okay. So then everybody was told not to come back. So then everybody left, but then, I only worked the 2 days there. But yeah, it was, you learned a lot of different trades and stuff, different things to do. I worked for the post office for a couple of years too, delivering mail, sorting mail. But yeah. Well, everybody, thank you all for coming in. I'm always live every Saturday and Sunday at 2:15 p.m. and on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. California time. So it's Pacific time, guys. So thank you all for coming in. Everybody have a good one. God bless you. And we'll see you tomorrow, same time. And God bless everybody that came in. Don't forget to hug your loved ones. Don't forget to call your mama, because you never know, guys. And everybody have a good one. Didn't see pointing around today. Maybe, oh, that's right. He was going to be doing... he was gonna go do yard sales, looking for silver and gold. All right, everybody. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Cable Company. Thank you, Pokerasi. Thank you, Marines and Army Mom, UK Medic, Ron Pierce, Tripman, 315 Gamer, Kevin Twaller, Tim Windsor, Corner Clubhouse, Dennis Bigfoot, OMA Gaming, Epic Legend Gaming, Yoda, Bud Files, 315 Gaming, and James L. Catanese. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a good one.